For anyone wondering, yes, I'm making a head when I do my videos or even just my rants to wear my glasses. So, for anybody wonders why the reflection, there you go. Anywho, I was watching the show Pawnstop. Excuse me for a second. So I'm watching the show Pawn Stars on the History Channel. Now I don't know if you ever watched this show. Now I'm sure that the people that run pawn shops for the most part are fairly reputable. I don't want to say they're 100% reputable because, okay, let's look at it this way. First of all, you don't know what the pawn shop is. Basically, it's like this. You have something you want to sell, so you go into the store and you have two options, pawn it or sell it. If you're trying to sell it, you give the person a price and then they will usually lowball you for it, unless it's something really, really rare. If you're trying to pawn it, you could try to get the amount of money that you want from the store. Then you have 120 days to pay it back with interest, the money back, or they keep the item which you sold or you gave them. Now, I'm going to try and liken this to the gaming community. Okay? Let us really break down the way some people look at it and some stores will look at it. And in case you haven't figured out, yes, we're probably going to go into a Gamestop tangent. You see, here's the deal, right? I know YouTube Source did a thing about gaming prices, and he was doing mostly collector's editions and stuff like that. I'm focusing more on the trading in of games and the price for a used product. Okay? So I just want to differentiate between me and what YouTubesaurus did. Okay, here's the deal. You walk in, and I'm using a store around my area. You can figure it out. You can use it on your own. You walk in to say an EB Games or a GameStop, which is one and the same now, by the way, but you get the idea. And you have a game you want to get rid of. Like, I don't know. Give me a second here. You want to get rid of, say, I don't know, this game right here. Now, I bought this game for $15 new. And it was new. It wasn't used. It wasn't. Now GameStop has come to the point where they don't use the term used anymore. It's called pre-owned. But yeah, game comes with, and this is complete with the manual and the actual game. Okay. Sadly, I don't have the other thing. Now, you will have your games where over time they'll sit on the shelves and their prices will have to drop because the company ain't selling them. And the game could sit out there sit on the shelf for upwards of 2 years, even longer. Well, what happens is if the store gets so many of a game, if the game is really common, they will give you such a little amount of money for the game but then they'll sell pretty much as such. What could be really batshit bonkers was when this happens, and this pisses off a lot of people. This is literally why sometimes stores like GameStop are referred to as a pawn shop. Okay, you take a completely brand new game. We'll use the game Heavy Rain, for example. The game just came out. So you go and you want to sell the game back to Gamestop, or you want to trade it in for store credit. At most, the store will probably give you $20. Here's the kick in the balls, though. They'll sell the game as pre-owned for $5 less than a new game. Okay, now the game does cost $60, but they'll sell it for $55 plus sales, plus a 7% sales tax here in New Jersey, which will drive somebody up a goddamn wall. And I've often said that I thought it was a complete crock. I also find it pretty fucked up that some game stores that GameStop also has a policy of holding on to certain game guides, but they're only allowed to hold on to them for 1 year. That is the shelf life for a strategy guide according to GameStop. And I know because I asked. But it's like so funny because you'll go and you'll buy a game and you'll buy the used game. Oh no, this will happen. You'll go to try and buy the new game so that the developer of said game actually makes money, and then they'll say, we have such and such a game and it might only be $5 less. It's like, dude, plus you can't really guarantee me the game's going to work. That'd be like, but it's like, that's the only difference between GameStop and pawn shops, because at a pawn shop, they take whatever the item is and if it's something that has mechanical parts to it, like a jukebox or whatever, then they take it and they get it refurbished and it actually plays. GameStop can claim to you that the system's going to work, or in fact, any place that sells a pre-owned system can make that claim, and you have to believe them. Because you're not sitting there watching the person tinker with the goddamn thing so that it actually does work. And here's what can be really, really shitty. If I went and showed you some of the receipts I had for a GameStop. Okay, I've traded in at any one time between, excuse me, 10 to 12 games. Okay? Now think about that. And I've had to trade in 10 to 12 games to buy one motherfucker. Okay? One. I got lucky one day that GameStop was having a sale where you traded in 2 games, but they had to be 2 that qualified to their standards, which is fucked up. It should have been any 2 games, because to be perfectly fucking honest, if anybody is actually the people that have played Final Fantasy 13, most of the people will tell you the game is a big seeping pile of horse shit. And I'm ashamed to say I actually agree with that. It would be better, but it's got so many things wrong with it. It's not even fucking. I want to finish the game because I never finished a Final Fantasy game, but I might not even bother. Seriously, it'll sit on my shelf until I say, you know what, time to get rid of it, and I will gladly get rid of it, and I will take the guide and ship it the fuck up to East Starland. Besides, I have a couple games I want to get. I'm gonna have more on this. See you in part 2.